Well, the restaurant owned by an Instagram star shut down by the city of Boston. Nusret had violations of.
I felt this was necessary action due to the strain on the city resources to responding to calls of lack of.
Calling this a line is a misnomer.
They were overwhelmed, unfortunately. Lots of people without reservations.
Salt Bae is facing serious trouble right now. One by one, his restaurants across the U.S. and Europe are shutting down. And the latest development? He could be permanently banned from opening any restaurants in the United States. That's right, permanently. To make matters worse, he's caught up in legal issues that could potentially lead to jail time. So what's his next move? Reports suggest he's looking to shift his operations to Latin America or the Middle East in hopes of sidestepping the legal mess. But there's a twist. The U.S. food safety authorities aren't letting this slide. They're keeping a close eye on him, making sure everything he does is by the book. In this video, I'm going to break down the full situation. What's falling apart in Salt Bae's restaurant empire, the legal dangers he's facing, and what all this could mean for his future. Let's dive in. As many of you already know, Salt Bae is currently being sued by 24 former employees from his Miami location. The allegation? He took all their tips, and while that lawsuit is still ongoing, more legal troubles are brewing that could make things even worse for him. I'll break down the full situation, but first, let me explain what's really happening with Salt Bae's empire. His newer restaurants have been shutting down rapidly in the U.S. The Las Vegas location closed earlier this year, and the Beverly Hills restaurant permanently stores in June after just 4 years. The New York Midtown spot is still open, but its future is uncertain. Across the pond in Europe, things aren't looking much better. His restaurants in both London and Paris have recently shut their doors. Even before the Boston branch closed, most of his locations throughout the US and Europe had already gone under, one after another. And when the media asked the public what they thought of Salt Bae's dining experience, the feedback was harsh. Roughly 80% of people said his brand simply doesn't appeal to them. Just 4% said they're actually fans, while 17% were undecided, but not exactly supportive either. To make matters worse, some past controversies are making headlines again, only adding more pressure to his already sinking brand. The truth is, Salt Bae's reputation and business are both crumbling. And it all traces back to one major issue: outrageously high prices. Things really started going downhill when he pulled a move that left people stunned, and not in a good way. He reportedly charged a customer $1,000 for a dish, using what turned out to be a completely bogus excuse. When customer Dwayne Miranda challenged Salt Bae's outrageous explanation for a sky-high bill, he probably didn't expect what happened next. Instead of trying to resolve the issue, Salt Bae reportedly called the police on him. Later, Dwayne spoke out publicly and revealed the full story, saying he felt scammed, embarrassed, and taken advantage of, all because Salt Bae was trying to squeeze extra money from guests with overpriced steaks and shady charges. According to Dwayne, they ordered 2 tomahawk steaks and a rack of lamb to share at the table. But when the bill arrived, the total was jaw-dropping. They were charged $1,000 for each steak, supposedly because they had chosen the golden version. But here's the twist. Dwayne insists they never ordered the gold-covered option. They simply ate what was served, assuming it was the standard dish they had asked for. He said it became obvious the server was trying to manipulate the situation, slipping in the more expensive items without clear consent. After that $1,000 controversy, public trust in Salt Bae's brand started to unravel. People weren't just upset about the price anymore. They were starting to question the integrity and even the quality of the whole experience. Dwayne Miranda and many other customers called him out for overcharging and serving food that didn't even match the crazy price tag. But instead of listening or owning up, Salt Bae completely denied it. He claimed his food quality and ingredients are the best in the world. It's like he's blind to the fact that everyone is criticizing him for the same thing: overpriced steak that doesn't live up to the hype. So instead of fixing the mess, he's just throwing out blind excuses while his restaurants keep shutting down one by one.
Is it so expensive?
We are not expensive. This is, perception, not reality. Our product, best of the best.
But the internet wasn't buying it. Comments poured in, and even longtime fans turned on him. What special night? It's just meat and salt. He forgot what made us like him in the first place. Salt Bae's response to all the backlash? Act like nothing was happening. Big mistake. He kept posting the same polished videos, showing off high-end cuts, flashy guests, and gold-plated steaks, almost as if he was mocking the critics instead of addressing them. Now, you might be wondering, if all these shady practices and over-the-top prices were always part of the story, how did Salt Bae even become famous in the first place? That's where the celebrity factor comes in. Big names like Andrew Tate, Conor McGregor, and Sean Diddy Combs helped skyrocket his fame. They visited his restaurants, filmed viral clips, and joined in on the now iconic salt-sprinkling pose, all chasing views, trends, and a taste of that luxury lifestyle. And Salt Bae? He soaked it all in. Every celebrity endorsement gave him more attention, more hype, and a ton of free publicity. You can still find clips of Andrew Tate hyping him up, treating Salt Bae like a high-end lifestyle icon.
We have a man who became a billionaire from salt.
Yes.
From salt! You can all put salt on, he did it the best. Bam.
I know Salt Bae. Not many people know that me and Salt Bae are tight like that. He's my boy. You know who Salt Bae is?
The salt sprinkler man?
Yes. My guy. Me and him met in Dubai. He's my friend. We're going there. We're going to go there, and I'm going to spend a bunch of money, because if I spend enough money, it pleases the gods.
When these so-called alpha males say Salt Bae is great, just imagine how many people fell for that illusion. But it wasn't just Andrew Tate. Take Conor McGregor, another polarizing figure. He visited Salt Bae's restaurant and, whether he meant to or not, helped boost the brand's image, encouraging fans to check it out just by showing up. And it wasn't just Andrew Tate and the whole alpha male crowd fueling the hype. Even Sean Diddy Combs, who's now behind bars facing serious criminal charges, was once part of Salt Bae's rise to fame. Think about that for a moment. One of the celebrities who helped position Salt Bae as a symbol of luxury and status is now a convicted criminal. Let that sink in. What does that say about Salt Bae's inner circle? The kinds of people who built him up and stood by his brand all these years? All those so-called luxury vibes? They're starting to look more fake than ever. Overpriced steaks, manufactured hype, celebrity photo ops with people who later turned out to be criminals. It's no surprise the whole empire is falling apart.
Congratulations to my brother Salt Bae. He's opening up his second restaurant in the meatpacking district in New York. You guys have to go. One of the best restaurants in the world. Congratulations to my brother Salt Bae. Yeah!
That moment captures exactly how Salt Bae skyrocketed to fame. Big names like Diddy gave him a massive boost, using their influence to push his brand into the spotlight. That's how Salt Bae became a global name. And sure, his rise wasn't effortless. It took relentless work, hustle, and yes, controversy. But somewhere along the way, he forgot what got him there. He lost the hunger that made him a success in the first place. And now, everything is catching up to him. Restaurant after restaurant is closing its doors. And people aren't just talking about it. They're filming it. Clips are flooding the internet, showing Salt Bae's once buzzing restaurants now empty, abandoned, or completely shut down across America. No fancy steaks, no crowds, no viral salt sprinkle. Just locked doors and closed signs. The same guy who went viral sprinkling salt like a superstar can't even keep the lights on in half his restaurants anymore. You guys remember Salt Bae's restaurant? And this guy had videos of him cutting up steak and drizzling salt all over the steak. And where is it now?
To Nusret. Inside of this place looked insanely nice. And I gotta say, right off the bat, the service was incredible. But that might be because this place is completely empty. We are literally the only...
And after all of this, when Salt Bae tries to jump back into the spotlight to revive his hype, it just blows up in his face. Remember the Champions League final? He literally tried to sneak in, hoping to show off for the cameras, but the bodyguards stopped him right at the door. Can you imagine? A man who once mingled with billionaires and A-list celebrities now getting shut down at the entrance like some random fan without a ticket. That's just how far Salt Bae has fallen. From viral superstar to overpriced meme. Now banned, broke, and locked out of the exclusive events he used to exploit for clout. So yeah. Stay tuned, because it looks like Salt Bae's problems are only beginning. Did you catch how he got kicked out? And guess what Salt Bae's excuse was? He claims he was never invited to any after-party, says he was just outside greeting fans and waiting for his ride. According to him, there was no formal event going on. Security simply guided him aside, not kicked him out. His team quickly dismissed the viral clip as fake. But Salt Bae, if you really weren't invited and were just waiting for your ride, then why were you dressed so fancy? And why did it look like you were trying to get inside and security pushed you out? And it's not just Salt Bae getting shut out everywhere. His restaurants worldwide are closing their doors too, which is exactly why the US Food Safety Department is now watching him like a hawk. If any of these accusations are proven in court, he's in serious legal trouble. Serving unsafe food? That's a health code violation. Could mean up to a year in prison, plus fines from $10,000 to over $100,000. Underpaying staff or stealing tips? That's labor law violation. Another 0 to 1 year behind bars, hefty fines, and paying back every stolen cent. Hiding income or cheating on taxes? That's tax fraud. 1 to 5 years in prison, plus fines ranging from $100,000 to $500,000 or more. And if he's adding hidden fees or scamming customers, that's consumer fraud. Up to 5 years in prison and fines reaching $100,000 or higher. So if evidence comes out, and it likely will, Salt Bae could be looking at prison time and massive fines. That's why he's desperately trying to disappear, moving his business to Latin America or the Middle East to escape the heat. Now here's the big question. Would you still pay to watch Salt Bae sprinkle salt in person? Or is the curtain finally closing on his show? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.